video where I'll be making a couple graphs, particularly a scatter plot, a density plot, and a bar plot in Tableau. So first we're gonna go to Microsoft Excel right here. Gonna click the data you want to use. I'm using assignment 3 copy, almost pulled the wrong one. That would have been a fun time. All right, I only have really one sheet here that I'm looking at, so don't need to change much. First, I'm going to do the scatter plot. So my scatter plot's going to be over about the week of turnover, so like the week quit, and the number of OCPs. I'm going to move this up here so don't forget that that's part of the graph. So yes, I'm going to take week quit. Oops, I'm going to put that here. And OCB. Yes, OCB count here. I'm going to change this from automatic to shape just because I want to make these black equilateral triangles. I wonder what that is a shout out to. Alrighty, look at that. Those, or, could also be, but we're going to go with this. So here are some black equal triangles. I'm also going to exclude my null data point. I had something added in there for formatting purposes because I didn't have 0, 0 point for later when I do my density. But I'm, don't need that null thing. Get rid of that. So now, if you noticed a problem, it looks like we have a negative relationship, but that actually isn't the case. It's that my OCB count is not going in the correct order. So I'm going to go right here and hit sort descending because I want it to go from the lowest number to be at the bottom, highest number at the top. Also, it's like looking at each data point with a number like this. It's kind of a chaotic thing. So I don't want it to be, I want it to be a continuous variable, not a discrete one. So that fixes that. And there we go. Now we have this pretty scatter plot that matches the one I made in R almost exactly. I'm going to change the title just so it looks more like the one that I'm going to have when I'm totally finished. You can go to edit title. You can type in the new title over whatever the sheet name is, bold it, center it. So that's what I'm doing right there. But yes, you would have just clicked on that, like double click, edit title. So yeah, I got that going. You can also adjust the accesses, which I'm going to do. This is number of OCBs. See, now that's fixed. And then I think more English to say week of turnover than week quit week. Though funny for me to say more English because sometimes I suck at English. All right, there we go. So this is pretty much close to exactly what I want. When I do put this in a report, just for curiosity's sake, I know I don't have to explain that here, but you can double click right here, hit copy, and then copy as an image. And so you can click what you want. You can have the caption. I don't need the caption whenever I do it because it comes up with this thing describing what data you put in, and it clutters things. So I do view and title, and then you hit copy, and then you can just paste it to a document. So it'll be automatically copied on there, just like anything else you copy. You just hit paste on wherever you want to paste it. I'm not going to show that because I don't have to show the actual report making, but I did want to go through that. So now that we've done the scatter plot, you've seen how you can adjust the color, the size, shapes, other things like that. You can also do things like if you did want to add labels to each point, you could do that, but that's just too much clutter. We don't need all that. But just so you know that I know what I'm doing. So we're going to take these off now, and we're going to go, look, I love how when you do that, here's the one equilateral, that is a black equilateral triangle if you're curious. So now I'm going to go into density, this is kind of the harder thing. Take out the filter there. So we're going to put in the week of quit data. I'm also going to, that's going to go on the columns. Let me just change this so it's not causing a mishap. Now, we're going to also create this other, right here, there's where create is, create a bin. Size of bin, I want them to be 1. Now this bin is just so that basically I can make this a density plot. It's going to be my row column here. So now this does not look like a density plot. I think we can all kind of know that. But there are a couple things we're going to do to adjust this data for it to be a density plot. So I'm going to go ahead and go over all that jazz. So this is going to actually become a continuous variable, so that becomes a line. This is now going to actually be, did I do? Wait, okay. Pretty sure bin goes here. My bad. We quit goes here. I will adjust it if I messed it up. Well, we shall see as I go along. And then this is going to be measure. I'm going to do the count. So now we're getting closer, right, to what my density plot should look like. Got the bin, the count. Now we also need to do a quick table calculation and make it a moving average. And then it ends up looking kind of like this, but some of the things are off with it. Like when I look at my final one, it's a bit off, so I'm going to adjust the accesses in order. So I'm just gonna get rid of that title for now. I want this to be some fixed starting, so I want it to look more like a normal graph. So I'm going to do it where it starts at 0, ends at 10. So the bin things are basically little markers down here. So we get this looking more normal going on here. This is what will be the density. So just to get rid of any confusion, I'll call that density so that we know what we're trying to achieve here. Yes, I did moving average. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't do anything weird. Continue. Oh, yes, that's when I messed up. So this actually, I said it was making them both continuous. This one I want to be discrete because the week bin is basically, I'm doing it as week 10, week 9, week 8. They're doing their own thing rather than making an individual label, and that makes it look more like the other density graph. So for the density graph, it's not really truly a density graph, but it's the best I could do. Oh, let me get format that. Oh, sorry, not format. Let me click on here again, just to hide that and make this say week of turnover. So this kind of looks more like it, but I'll show you over here. What I basically did is I had the R one that I made and compared it to it. I had like a double line one, but I just decided to make a single one just to make sure I got it to look right. So it is generally kind of following the correct path with the correct bottom parts here and all that, but just kind of difficult to make a density plot in Tableau, which is something I'll go over later. But you can see that it does kind of follow the same general trend line there, even though it's a little bumpy here. In an ideal world, I like to smooth it all out, but it's really hard to get smooth past this. So this is where I got my density graph. Pretty sure I've got all of the things right now. That is correct. I'm just double checking. Yes, what I want to do. Now we're going to move on to the final one, which should be one of the easier ones. I want to get the density one over in the middle. And that will be doing the good old basic bar graph. So I'm going to take these out. The more confusing life is over. Isn't that great? And we're going to do a bar graph based on race. So I'm going to put race in both these columns, which will look kind of weird. I'm going to delete the null thing again because I don't need it. Exclude. The reason I had the nulls because when I made the density graph, you know how it started at 0, 0, it just made it go down a little bit to a 0 point, so it's true density graph rather than this line looking thing. So I just added in the 0 data point on my sheet to kind of go along with that, but it resulted in null data for some other points. So just cleaning that up by getting rid of the null data everywhere else. It's not that I'm just ignoring my nulls. Just want to clarify that if I wasn't clear earlier. So here we got raise POC. Oh, it's done. No, I'm just kidding. It's not done. I just make it not silly, a little funny. So basically we need to change one of these to measure a count instead of a dimension. Change this to bar, and there we go. If you wanted to change it, the direction, you just move count there and raise. Oh shoot, you would just do it where the count one is at the top like that. But I kind of want it facing the other way, so I'm just gonna do this backwards so I don't have to, because I can't really move these around. I forget. Love that for me. Here we go. All right. Now I kind of want to adjust this as well to look similar to the R-generated graph. So I actually went ahead and changed the color right here to like a gray color. I think, oh yeah, that one. And then I made a border right here, as you can see. How pretty is she? I changed this to number of employees instead of count arrays because it just sounds more human. Bam. And I just, again, changed this title to race of employees and moved it to the side since it's over here. This is basically the exact graph I did. I did this on my copy and paste. You can also change like which order, like what side the white or POC's on by up here. You can just change it. Oh, you can also change the rotation right there. Unlike the other way I showed you, but I kind of want it where it's like this. I was just showing you can do that. Again, you can change size, so you can change the size of the bars if you wanted to. I don't on my final image, but the point is you can make them like that. Make them like, wow, look how tiny. So that's adjustable. And you can also add other details and stuff. But this is how I wanted to do it. And that is me walking